Hey guys, James Cruz here. I've had good success on YouTube with my art channel, James Cruz Fine Art. And I know it can be a bit confusing that I'm doing something new, but I also have another hobby. I like to build guitars and buy guitars and sell guitars and all that. One of my guilty pleasures is a site called Goodwill online. They have things you'll never find in the local Goodwill stores, and particularly I like the guitars in the music section. There are some poor, beat up, sticker covered, mistreated instruments that all have a story, and I'm very interested in what those stories are. I'm going to share a few of them on this first video with you and kind of see what you think of it, and we'll go from there. Thanks for checking this out. Alright, first up on our adventures at Goodwill online, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I love going there in the morning for like a half hour over a cup of coffee and just relishing in the disasters that show up on this site. What I am here to show you is great stuff that you find on this site, and to me, I have so many questions, and sometimes I just want to get these guitars and get them cheap and bring them here and take them apart and see if I can learn more about who used to own this. Not out of disrespect, but more out of respect, because if you walked into a studio and saw this guitar, I mean, just hanging on the wall of like a pro studio or something, I mean, you'd be like, oh, what is that? I want to know the story on that. This Donner, or whatever this guitar is, I'm sure somebody in the comments will know much more than me about it, caught my eye first this morning, and is so much. My favorite thing is the Lion King sticker, because let's get to that. I mean, obviously you think it's a kid's guitar, and it may very well be, because of as you look closer, you see this guy, the guy running with a hatchet. Like, what is he trying to do? Go kill his parents? And then changed his mind and said, oh, I'm going to put some kitty stickers on here first. And then I'll put that. Killing somebody with a hatchet later on. And, you know, it's got the broken strings, which you expect from Goodwill and all that. That's not their fault. Of course, there's no case. Whatever the Premier sticker is for. And there's more, you know, kitty stickers up here, so you start thinking maybe it's a little girl's guitar, it could be a little guy's guitar, I don't know. The poor fretboard has never been cared for, and I just want to get it here and show it some love and send it back out there. But honestly, I would just hang it on the wall and enjoy it and wonder what kind of stories went along with this guitar, because look at the headstock. What is that? It's like, okay, I mean, was I just bored and stuck it on there? And I mean, this guitar has a story. It probably came from somebody's garage, or, you know, someone was cleaning out a house and they just said, take everything to Goodwill. I don't want to ever look at it again. And you know, they held this guitar up and just said, but what about this? I mean, it's like maybe a $75 guitar new, maybe a little bit more. No one's put any high-end pickups in this thing, I can guarantee you that. The bridge is stock. No one set the intonation, probably not even at the factory. And that's okay. That's the fun of getting an old guitar and fixing it up. But let's see what this one is going for. It's already got 13 bids, and it's almost $80. This item is not inventoried, tested, or authenticated. Signs of heavy use. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I will say this, that Goodwill has been very good when I've bought things to ship them well, bubble wrapped and careful, even guitars. Never bought a real high-end guitar off here, and I probably wouldn't. And with Goodwill, any guitar that has a sticker on it from the manufacturer is not a high-end guitar, and Goodwill is loaded with those type of guitars. So the second one I wanted to show you today caught my eye, and I laughed and laughed about this. Gibson, Givson, Jumbo Acoustic Guitar. And I did a little research, and apparently this was an Indian manufacturer. It's probably a lawsuit guitar, because they got The font is pretty close to our beloved Gibson. The headstock it is what it is. My favorite part of this guitar is the machine heads, the tuners. It looked like somebody got some metal and went in the garage and just got a file and just started beating this and said, "Look what I made." And this has got these screws that no one in their right mind would use, and some of them are bent, and I mean, they're creative. I mean, it looks like a guitar. This right here is, you know what I'm looking at. This is hardware from the store, from a Home Depot or something. They said, "Hey, I want to make an adjustable bridge the way Gibson does," and they made their own. I would love to just get this guitar in and just see, what they did on the inside, especially. And the bridge is symmetrical. It looks pretty good. It looks like the components are decent, but those are hardware adjusters. The body shape, I've never seen an American guitar shaped like that, or one from Japan or Korea or anything. I've never seen that shape. But this is actually a brand that is sold, and you can buy these. And it just I want it so bad. Just kind of take a look at it and get it, and really look at this thing. It has an adjustable truss rod. It's okay. All right. No shame in the game. And if anybody knows anything more about these two type of guitars I showed, I would love to hear it. I'm sure you know a lot more than I do. I build and make custom guitars and do all that, but there are literally hundreds of guitars that show up on Goodwill. And the usual run of Fender Squiers, all the way from really cool Japan ones and Korean ones to American ones and Mexican ones and all that. So there's a big presence of all low-end versions from these companies, Martin, Sigma, Charvel, all the brands we all grew up and loved. And I think a lot what's going on. This poor guitar. Come with me for a moment. There are hundreds of First Act guitars on Goodwill, and I'm not cutting on the brand. It's a student guitar. It's meant for people just learning. So a lot of people will buy them for their kids or students or whatever. And then they get bored and they get done and they realize they're never going to be Jimi Hendrix, and they start painting their guitars. And this poor thing has suffered at the hands. It's suffered long enough. This one would be in the category of getting it and taking it out back and having a hunt. You have a hunter's, from Supernatural, a hunter's funeral for it. It has been, they tied a string on it and all the strings are broken off, and it's just seen better days. And then they tried to put a big yellow star on it, or it was already there and they just started chipping it off. Who hurt you that you would do this to a guitar? Who? So sad. Here's another one in the Fender Squier arena that, this is the Garage Band. I don't care about the guitar. I'm going to put every sticker. He's got an 80s Atari sticker on there, which is just cool. You've got House of Blues, Damone, I don't know what that is. Yellow Card. Someone just said, I'm going to stick every sticker on here. It usually starts with the guitar getting dinged at a show or something, and then after that, it's all bets are off. Every sticker ends up on there because it's cool, dude. Wait a minute, what was stuck in the output jack? It's an quarter-inch adapter. There's a story there. Bud was plugging his headphones in or trying to line out to something, and it just left it in there. I mean, maybe that was the last time 20 years ago it ever got played, but they just left it in there, and can't read what those are. This is old Squier stuff, and I'm here for it. I love old Squiers. This one is from the, it's not that old. Probably the 90s, something like that. Yeah. That neck is those poor frets have never been leveled and cleaned. Probably made in Indonesia or China. There's stickers in the back. What do we got? Rock, Hall, and Planet Waves. I mean, there you go. I mean, for $34, 7 bids on it already. We're going to keep a little eye on that one, because these guitars have gone up in value. You'd have to completely refinish it or just leave it like it is. But this one, somebody showed this some love. It needs to live on. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Every morning I spend a half hour to an hour, and I'm going to grab some more of these wonderful Goodwill listings that I think you're going to enjoy, because I get a kick out of them. I know my fellow guitar lovers will too. So if you like what you see, throw me a like, throw me a follow, whatever. Again, this is a new experiment. I'm giving this a shot, trying to share something that I love in the guitar world, and I hope you do too. Thanks for joining me.